It's time for the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Here with a load of laughs, info, and fun, it's Tony B, Dave B, and Timmy D.
Before I go alone. Don't ask me this and one more song. It ain't too costly, no, I ain't too cheap, so just relax. I'm on my knees.
Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 76. My name is Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. and Timmy D. Today's topic, National Truck Driving Championship. David's going to hit us up on that. We have a special guest, Brittany Richardson on YouTube, going to call in here shortly. You can catch her on YouTube as well. We're just three Americans discussing the topics that affect the transportation industry. Our views, the views of us three, are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses a transportation provider. Timmy D, why do we do it?
Transportainment.
That's right. Boom. Thank you, David. That's right. Transportainment. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher, and obviously our home website, www.ShipsGonnaHappen.com. All you have to do is Google us in the search engine, and you will find Ship's Gonna Happen. David B., happy Saturday morning, my friend.
Good Saturday morning to the both of you guys. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in Indianapolis. It's just a nice, crisp, late summer morning, and coming through downtown today, they're definitely making some progress on that I-70 stretch. And
About time.
I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to bring 65 off of that, or what's going to happen. How you're going to keep on or get on to 65. But
Right.
it's-
How you gonna get to getting?
Get to getting.
Get to getting.
Rather get to getting. And so it's progress is finally being made. They're supposed to be close to done in November, so we'll see how it looks then. Yeah, I know. So this show, along with all of our other shows, are brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go after a Ship's Gonna Happen week. Great place to go to unwind, catch it up, chat it up with the locals, just listen to some good music and have a good meal and just kind of unwind. I started unwinding Thursday afternoon there, and then I was there until 12:30 this morning. So, which is rare for me to even be up past 8:00. But went to an Indians game last night, and then finished it up with the Great Divide. So
How was that?
It was awesome. Well, from what I remember, it was awesome. They won 3-2, and we sat in the section that Tim and I sat in last year when we went. That kind of where you pay one price and get to eat and drink as much as you can, or whatever.
Oh, the open suite they came out with, the
Yeah,
public suite or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
They lost money on our table last night. So, Timmy D, how are you this morning, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm
Good to have you back.
Doing good. Just it's been a few weeks, right, since I think
Yeah,
I've been on the
Tim
hook
D's
with
been
you
out.
guys. So I don't know, same old crap, another day, man.
Yeah, thanks to
Ship's gonna happen, you know.
Ship's gonna
So
happen.
thanks to Susan Blish for filling in for you last week. even
Yeah,
though
Susan did a great
She
job.
did an awesome,
awesome.
job. So
It's a good show.
Yeah.
so I'm waiting for you guys to give me the flack about the guac competition.
Well,
I know we got
well,
some of that. We
I
was
think
reserving
we have.
that.
We
for
actually
random
have.
thoughts.
Yes, we do, because I think we have more than one thing to give you a little bit of flack about.
Yeah,
Oh.
So, but we'll
there's
get
another
there.
thing.
We'll
There's
get there.
I might use a unique voice to bring that one up.
We'll get
But
there.
We'll get that.
We'll
one.
get there. So
So everyone knows the anticipation building. I'm still the champion. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. I don't give a damn what anyone says.
Jake did say Jake did say yesterday, he goes, I don't give a crap what the voting was. Tim's guac was far better than
And he was
anybody's.
on the winning team.
Jake. No.
No, okay. Who's-
Jake donated $1,000.
There was,
Oh,
there
that's
was
right.
one guy that
Gotcha.
rigged the system. I ain't mad at him. Hey,
Yeah,
if you got to
it's
buy your
what you
votes, you
gotta-
buy your votes, you know,
Yeah.
and we'll tell you how he bought his votes, but that's okay. I can
Mhm.
handle it. I'm a
Oh.
grown ass man. Let's put it this way. I definitely had enough adult beverages that I didn't even bring home to second place. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Yep.
hopefully it's still down there because I still
It
got a
is.
spot on my bar where it belongs.
It is.
It's going to look a little more dinky than the other one. That's for
Right.
daggone sure.
Right.
But
Right.
There you go.
But that was what? That was a couple weekends ago, right? Because
Just
I was out on
last Friday.
Yeah.
2 Fridays ago.
Two
Last Fridays. It was 2 Fridays. Yesterday, Friday, and then
It was last
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last Friday would be yesterday.
Oh well. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Tim,
yeah,
technical
yeah,
Tim. That
yeah.
should be his
Here
name.
we go.
I need to brush up on my Timonese.
There you
So yes, it was.
But so you
2
guys
Fridays
know,
ago.
we did sponsor a hole at an American Cancer Society golf
Nice.
outing.
How much money was raised for that?
Yeah.
I believe over $8,000.
Nice.
So
Nice. Good.
I paid some cash to get that done
Thank
and get our little name out there a little bit more. Always about advertising the Ship's
Yes,
Gonna Happen
sir.
podcast. So
Yep.
what's up with you, Tony B? What's new?
Man, no, it's nice to have you back in the studio. I saw that picture out there with the sponsorship on the golf on the hole there, Tim. That was pretty nifty. I like that. It's all good. So, David B, you want to get into
Get to
topic one, or
Get
should
to
we?
getting-
Or should we?
No, let's go
No,
to
you
topic.
wanna wait?
That's-
All right, we'll wait for
that's
that.
topic
All right,
one.
we'll get
Let's
to,
go topics first.
We'll go.
What?
topic.
Come on, let's see.
That's what
They've got something going on this morning. They're
wait.
a little bit different when I showed
Yeah.
up, folks. I'm just going to put it out there.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get to
Let's
topic
get,
one. So this won't take overly too long.
Yeah.
So Tony's
Yeah,
got a new
we go.
board. Tony
Got a
has a
new
new
board.
toy.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the new board you got.
Here. New jingle here. Yeah, the Roadcaster
Ooh.
Pro 2. Man, this thing's hot.
I like
It's
that.
happening. Yeah, a little funky dunky.
Yeah,
Let's get into topic
get it
one.
down.
So David's got the National Truck Driving Championship, which is being held here in Indianapolis.
It was.
Well, it was. It's
Yes,
over, yeah.
yeah.
This week.
If I'm gonna get technical, like Timonese.
This
here,
week.
It was right.
Technical Tim.
So yesterday, before the Indians game yesterday, I go, my buddies that I was meeting up with, I go, let's go to the J-Dub and start there. Not that we had any reason to start drinking before the game, but like, let's just go ahead and start at the J-Dub. So I
Banging
get to
some
the
money.
J-Dub and it is flipping packed.
Packed.
Like it's always busy in there, but this time it was busier than normal.
Wow.
So when you walk in the front door, if you go immediately to the left, there's the bar. And so I go in there and I see a poop ton of FedEx drivers. And I'm like, what's going? I'm like, oh. And then every table was reserved. And I go, I bet that this is the National Truck Driving Championship. So I looked it up and sure it was. And so I had to get another Uber to go to the Great Divide because there was nowhere to sit and drink.
Wow.
And so while I was in the lobby waiting, by chance, there was a couple drivers that had came and sat across me, retired UPS drivers. And I asked them if they were here for that reason, not knowing at the time that they were retired UPS drivers. He goes, yeah, we're here for the National Truck Driving Championships. We're judges. And so I start talking to him a little bit. I go, so is this something you guys have done for years? And he goes, yeah. And for a very long time. And I said, is it well attended? They're like, every year it's well attended. There's over 500 drivers that show up because this year it's in Indianapolis. Next year it's in Columbus, Ohio.
That's not far away either.
So, and then the year after that, it's back in Indianapolis.
Wow.
So, yeah, they were really good guys to talk to. And, they're like, hey, you just sit here a little bit longer and there'll be plenty more drivers that are willing to come up and talk to you. So that's something that you should think about. So, yeah, it was nice to sit and chat with them. And there was a gentleman, I looked up the finals today, one of the FedEx Express drivers, and I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, not on purpose. Roland Bolduc, Bolduck is the professional driving champion.
He
So
won
he's
it.
with FedEx, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, congratulations.
What division or just overall?
So that was the overall division. And then so in the other divisions, going through here, there was an XPO driver that took the 3-axle division, a 4-axle division, a gentleman named Martin McCann from Wrist Transport. In the 5-axle division, it was David Gwynn from Publix. In the flatbed division, it was Eric Ramsdale from Walmart. So shout out to those Walmart drivers.
with the flatbed
Walmart,
driver
yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
Check out that. That's how good drivers are. They can drive anything.
And that sleeper division was Roland Bolduc, Bolduck, or DUC, the gentleman that I mentioned for the overall.
Yeah.
Straight truck division, Christopher Shaw from FedEx. The tanker division, Martin Flippin from Who Knew, FedEx, and then Damon Herbert from XPO was the Twins division, and then the sleeper van division, it was Gregory Long from a company probably not very well known called FedEx. So
Oh my gosh, yeah.
FedEx
kinda
cleaned
came in,
up.
whooped
They
some
must have-
ass.
Man, there are a lot of people in it too, right? I
Yeah,
saw they
it's
had a lot
500 people.
They're a big sponsor too, right?
Yeah,
Um,
they're a
yeah,
huge sponsor.
yeah.
Okay.
So David, they've been how long have they been doing this? Do
That's
you-
this is
The 85th year. So they took
Wow.
the last 2 years off. This was their 85th year.
Because of
That's what I was
COVID?
reading about. Yep.
Yep.
85th year. So
Mhm.
85 years. And so people need to know the truck driving championship to the everyday listener out there is the Olympics
of truck driving
for this profession.
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they have
Alright.
mechanics there too. They have a different classes of people too. I saw.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
I
it's
just
they
know
have,
it's
like,
for the
mechanics.
whole profession. I mean, there's everyone has the best of the best, this is that, but this is the Olympics for.
And
know,
you've been to it, right?
I've not been to the nationals, but yeah,
Well, what
I've
did
been
you go to? I remember.
I've been to quite a bit of the state tournaments. I've been to the banquets and the dinners and stuff, and they do it up right for these drivers. I mean, it's really a time to bring your wife or your husband out. Your kids are welcome as well. They really do up I mean, it's a sit down. They're bringing you a 3-course
because there's
meal.
a dress code. I saw.
Yeah,
There is
you're
an actual
wearing
dress
ties,
code,
you're
yeah.
wearing slacks. I mean,
Right.
it's
a big
legit.
deal.
It is a huge deal, and there's a lot of money, a lot of sponsors. A lot of it's all. I mean, it's based around safety. First off, you have to have at least 1 year accident free before you're even allowed to enter.
Wow.
Most of those guys back in the day, I believe it was 5 years, no accidents. When I had put drivers in that we had trained or whatever from when I was a manager that
Right.
that we had put in and whatnot. And it's good to see those guys and gals outside of the everyday work environment
Yeah.
where they're showing up, in their whatever their work attire is and what they do day to day. Versus when they're in a suit and a tie. It's
Yeah.
different people, right?
Right.
The normal
Mhm.
people that are just professionals and the top of the line athletes. Realistically, I mean, it's injury and accident free for over a year. That's huge in this business. You guys been on the roads. Too many
Right.
things are out there.
oh
So
yeah.
for the qualifications to do that, and then the test they give you the night before, and they put them up in hotels, and it's a long test. There's a written test, and then you've got to walk around the trucks for another different test where the cops are trying to catch you up on some stupid slips and this or that. Then you've got the driving aspect. The driving aspect, believe it or not, is the shortest part of this. It's all the testing and the knowledge and the in and out of the laws and what is allowed and what's not allowed,
And I saw Timmy D and David B. I was looking it up last night. Some of the videos from the actual driving events.
Okay.
I don't think in a car many people could drive
I got you.
that freaking course, right? Because they've got them going through barricades like
Oh yeah, the cones and
yeah, and I don't think a normal driver in a car can pull off some of that.
That's fair.
I always like they got like rubber ducks literally sitting out there that they can't hit the rubber ducks. Well, you can't see that rubber duck in your mirror when
Right.
they got it perfectly positioned where you can't see it in your mirror. So when you're turning that truck and you're following that tail around, you got people in sleeper cabs that got to back up, and then they measure how much footage you stop from actually where the line is. That you're just doing all by mirror.
Yeah.
And then you get graded on that. And if you're not within, I'm telling you, within an inch, you might as well just cash it out.
So what is it? What is the truck driver champion win? Do you think they go back and they get a pay raise?
It's like a 6 foot. It's a 6 foot freaking trophy. I know
he's
that.
That's
he's
pretty
he's
prestigious,
hoisting
right?
a big trophy right here.
Yeah.
And he's.
There's
what side are you on,
sponsorships.
baby, that you can see that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta put my glasses on. The American Truck Driving Association is the
.com.
website.
Yeah. So
There's a
you
lot of safe. Don't they get? I mean, safe. A lot of the safety people donate them different things. I feel like it was like $10,000 at one point, but
That's
I could
pretty
be
cool.
completely
I bet.
wrong.
You're
think they get a
probably
pay
right.
raise?
From their company.
I bet they do. They got to get
Mm.
something, right? Like
No.
you did the company well, right?
But what if they're a union driver?
Well, yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
Right? You got to share love.
Which
So
there's
the-
some good union drivers that
Oh, yeah.
compete
The-
in that.
The two guys that I spoke with at the JW yesterday, they both were retired UPS drivers, and they were down there judging.
Really?
Other judges.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
That's
it was
cool.
good to talk to them. So in my head, in that small amount of time that I was there, and just talking to two drivers, if we can go next year or
Okay,
whatever, just to
line
do an
out the whole
afternoon,
year.
Well, yeah, we could talk to people.
months.
Yeah,
Right.
just saying.
So they start these, and I was looking at all the
Yeah,
different
well, that's a
states,
good idea.
and so you started a state level competition.
Mhm.
I saw that. You win your state, and then you
Then you
goes
move
to the
on.
national.
Well, no, then you move on to like a regional
Regional.
type deal, and then it's the nationals. But it starts all the way back. March 4th was the first one this year. Rhode Island canceled theirs. I don't know, just because it's so small, they don't have anybody that's worth a damn.
Or
I don't know how that worked.
Weather
And
was
then
crappy.
Alaska was to be determined. So who knows when they
Right,
ran theirs in
yeah.
Alaska. Ice road trucking.
That
I don't
would
know
be
what they're
fun.
There we
doing.
go. Yep.
But so it starts as early as March 4th. I think Indiana. I think we did ours second week of June this year.
I saw
Does
that. It
sound
looks like
right?
it was done.
does.
Yeah.
And there's only it's very little people that actually make it to the nationals.
Oh, I bet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got probably 10 per group. I'd have to have someone that was there, but I mean, figure there's 20 events. Does that sound right? 20
Yep.
different events,
Yeah.
whether it's a box truck, it could be a sleeper cab, tankers, 53-footer, 40-footer, 48-footer, flatbed. That's crazy. The Walmart guy won a flatbed, right?
Yeah, because they don't
Exactly.
usually would interact with a flatbed.
I had to go buy I had to go rent a step deck. I think it was a step deck. One of my guys who was he was a former national champion. I talked him into competing. Great driver. He's awesome. And he's like, all right, I want to compete in this. I'm like, we don't have any of that equipment, dude. And he's like, that's what I want to compete in. And I'm like,
All right.
okay. So I had to go and rent one for him to practice or
Oh,
whatever.
wow. That's
You know,
cool.
we'd pay him they come in on Saturday and practice for 4
Yeah.
or 5 hours. And it's I mean, you think of truck driving as a dirty job almost, right? And no one realizes the professionalism in it and how skilled you must be, and this really makes them shine.
So, Tim, you're right here. When asked, professional drivers will tell you that they are drawn to the championship by the spirit of the competition and the prestige of being named the best of the best. It's described by drivers as being like in the Olympics,
Yep.
where they come to win, but revel in the camaraderie and excitement.
Yep. And they meet a lot of people, and a lot of these guys. So think about like AAU basketball,
Mm.
and then as you elevate and you get
Yeah,
into
right. That's a good analogy.
if you watch, college basketball and like the high school, and these guys know them all from all these different camps they go
Yeah.
to as they grow up. The better you are, the more people you meet around the country. So you see a lot of the NFL players will walk over to the sideline
Huge,
and
yeah.
say hi to their buddy that they grew up with
Right.
playing basketball that lived in a different state. This is the same thing here because a lot of these guys compete time and time again, and they're always at the high of their class.
Right.
So it's good for the Indiana guy to see the guy from Idaho that he met last year, him and his family, then they become friends. And again, it's all networking and it's all professionalism. It's badass. And so it sounds like the JW probably hosted the banquet dinner then too.
Yeah, it looks like they were a big part of it, and they probably, a lot of the drivers probably stayed there too. It looked like something that we should kind of
go to.
with. So
You got
just
the
saying.
Straight truck, 3-axle,
Mhm.
4-axle, 5-axle truck. I mean, it's a lot of stuff.
Right.
Like you were saying.
I will tell you this: if you're in the crowd, it's kind of like watching paint dry.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, if you respect the craft of what they're doing, it's a little bit different. But
Mhm.
like our team always end up being by the rubber ducky, and I was like, all right, who's gonna hit the rubber ducky? Who's hitting the rubber ducky? But it takes so long for them to finally get up. I mean, it was probably 20 minutes in between each, so you're sitting there for a 5-minute time
Yeah.
around, and then you got to wait another 20-30 minutes before you get another one for that same event. So
It's pretty cool. They came up with that though, man. It's been around.
I'm gonna
for a
try
long
hard.
time.
I'm gonna try really hard to get one of these guys on to be a guest.
Yeah,
So
it would be nice to have the
just call
championship.
FedEx
That's what I
up
heard.
and say,
Yeah.
hey, you've got 17 drivers. Can we just have one?
Yeah, exactly.
Good for FedEx, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
I did
nice.
see Yellow had a husband and a wife with both made
Yeah,
it.
I saw that in there. It was on
Yeah.
the site. Yeah.
Jesse's somebody and his wife
Yep.
that did it. Who was that? I wrote that down because I knew that was going to be a topic. Jesse Heron and wife Jackie both participated in the National Truck Driving Championship. So that's pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
Well,
But I feel like the National Truck Driving Championship then got out cheap because they were already going to pay for the wife to come, or vice versa, the husband. And now you got two of the same.
Right. Yeah.
Can we get two different rooms?
That's right. Yeah.
Can we get two different rooms on two different floors? Do you mind?
Exactly.
That's funny.
It is. So congratulations to all those drivers and
Yeah,
championships
well,
and stuff.
I mean,
this is something that we should build on, at least with the show.
2 years being off, right?
Yeah.
So, but pretty cool that Indianapolis hosted it. You know,
Yeah, that's even cooler, right?
everyone that comes to Indy always says how great of a city it is. But I feel like most people never come back. But it's one of those towns that just everything's within walking distance. You got every big thing you need here, but it's a small town feel. So,
Right.
Sure. Yep. Definitely. So that's all I got on the championship.
That's nice, though.
It's
Thank you,
definitely
David.
good to read about and see. You know, it's kind of something we knew it was going to happen, and then you kind of space
Yeah.
it, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's going
Yeah.
on.
right.
So,
No, that's awesome, David. Thanks for bringing that up because that's good stuff, man. That's in our wheelhouse, right?
yes.
So, you know,
Tony.
Somebody we know is getting married.
No, that's not how I wanted to do
Is
this.
not? Oh, how'd you want to do it?
You love this new soundboard, don't you?
I wanted him to explain why we
okay.
haven't heard about it yet. So
About what?
about an engagement.
Oh, yeah.
didn't tell us.
Yeah.
So,
It's on Facebook. I mean, it's don't get any more public knowledge.
I'm
than
not
that.
on
but we
Facebook.
wanted. We just wanted to hear it. directly from you, so
I proposed to my
Congratulations.
baby mama a couple weeks ago.
congratulations.
Well, you know, I know she doesn't listen to the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I was a single daddy all weekend, so I felt like when she came back it was a relief.
yeah.
So she
That's
deserved
funny.
it.
Okay. All
Don't
right.
leave me.
So are there dates or anything lined up yet?
No.
Or? All
It's
right.
something's a matter of time. She's been on my ass for a few years about it.
So is there a chance that one day you just may show up with a ring on your finger and like it happened?
Hey
last
guys, I just
weekend,
got
or it
married.
happened whatever.
I know.
No, seriously. I mean that.
she's a person. Whatever she wants to do. She wants
we
to have
go.
a big wedding.
Okay.
We'll do that. But she's kind of more realistic, like me. Like, let's just go to the town hall, get married,
Yep.
and then throw a big ass party.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, there we go.
I'd rather do something like that where we just throw a. That's what but it's all up to her, right? So the thing is that we haven't talked about it much because her best friend's getting married
wow.
today, and she's the maid of honor.
You
or
gotta go
whatever.
to
So
that?
that's kind of been
So
more.
she's
Oh, man.
so
yeah.
today's a practice.
There you go. Yeah.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
I guess you
kind
would say,
of.
yeah, it is.
Kind
Dry
of.
run. Dry run.
There we go.
Well,
There
I'll
we
be
go.
sweating my balls off. It's outside, August, and you know it's going to be humid as
Yeah.
crap today.
Oh yeah, because there's a good.
And it's
chance
right
that-
down the street,
You
by the
know
way, at
what?
the Hope Center.
I went to a wedding there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Really?
I was completely floored how
So I went over there and sprayed for mosquitoes on Thursday night. So I sprayed for mosquitoes. I bought my own backpack and all that. And so I guess they went out there on Wednesday night or something, her and her fiance, and they got
Out
bit up,
there.
I guess, just being out there for like 15
wow.
minutes. So
Wow.
I went over there. She's like, would you come spray this? I was like, am I
Yeah.
allowed? Like, first off, so you guys don't know, the Hope Center is basically, how can I say this correctly? It's women that are in shelter, basically trying to protect them from assholes.
There we
We'll
go.
put it that way.
There's no better way to put it.
And so I'm like, are you sure I'm allowed to show up with a backpack over there? Like, so she met me over there and I sprayed, and then they went through a walkthrough last night and literally said, that works.
Nice. Good.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, it works. What, you think I've been doing it for 4 years for nothing? And they didn't get bit up at all. So that's good news. But yeah, so she's got to be over there starting at like
Wow.
noon or something in her bridesmaid dress.
Congratulations.
Smoking
That's
hot.
awesome.
Congratulations on. getting
Yeah.
engaged.
So yeah.
She actually said yes.
What if she just said
I know.
no?
I literally said, did you ever say yes though? Because I got down on my knee. You know,
What if she would have
Wow.
said, let's just be friends? Would you have been like,
there's the friend zone, and then there's the I just want to get your pants zone,
The
and then there's the wife zone.
The benefits zone.
No, we've talked about it. We've talked about it for a while, a lot, even before we had the baby. Just so we're all on the same. The baby has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
right.
the love I have for her.
Sure.
So
Well, congratulations. We just
but
felt left.
my
out.
biggest thing was asking her dad to marry her, right?
yeah.
That was the scariest crap for me.
How
That
did
was
you-
the
how
hardest.
How did you do that?
Very weird and randomly.
Like, hey, you got a moment for a beer? Or
So
do you
that's the
gotta-
problem is that so her mom's always around because her dad's not in the fittest, finest shape at his age.
Well, we are, of course.
Yeah. But so it seems like every time we go over there or get together or something, his mom's around or her mom's around or she's around. Just never just him and I.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went over there to borrow his trailer back in early July. And so happened she was gone at the store. He was actually out of his chair outside waiting for me to show up in his chair out in the garage, drinking a beer or something. I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, it don't get any better than this, right? I mean, this is just get it done, Tim. And so I don't know, we bullshit it for a little bit. And then I'm like, look, I got to ask you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, yeah, I've just been waiting for you to ask. Like, no, yeah, yes. I'm surprised you guys aren't even married right now without telling, But it was just hard to get the kahunas to do that because, in my opinion, that's the hardest. You're asking another man to have his daughter is huge. I think if I had a daughter, like, hey, no punk, get out of here,
Right.
So that was the hardest thing. So since then, I've been kind of out shopping here or there. And I took a Friday off a few weeks back to go look and never found anything and then found the right one. And that's how it happened, man.
Nice. Well, again,
Nothing crazy.
congratulations.
Just proposed at home, didn't do nothing stupid,
Yeah.
And that was it. I went and got that Sunday, I went and got a shirt made for the baby that said, "Yo, mommy, will you marry my daddy?" So that made break
That's
down
nice.
a little
Nice
bit.
touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Center is
Congratulations.
imparting hope and healing to every heart. Residential care for women overcoming sex trafficking, sexual exploitation, and addiction. Yeah, it's a good place.
They have a fantastic
I saw
shop
that.
up front too. We do a lot of Christmas shopping there for candles and stuff. It helps benefits them.
Sure.
The women in there they make the homemade candles themselves. They've got some clothing lines in there that's exclusive to their residents. So help support them, right? It's for a good cause. But I would have never thought when I'm looking for a wedding venue to look up the Hope Center. I mean, it's right. It's literally, so everyone knows, it is a half mile away from my house.
Wow.
I mean, so I was going to literally stumble home from there if need be.
Glad they're using it though. They got like growing food and selling stuff.
Did you see that? So there's someone out there
sure.
monitoring these plants.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. So I assume they're going to
I
sell
think
that,
they
or
sell
maybe they
them.
use
I
it for
think that
the.
you can go back there. They have a flower shop in the back too.
But they got a new garden out front. Have you seen it? There's like someone
It's green
always
peppers.
attending. Literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's someone out there all the time.
I'll have to maybe.
It
swing
is.
by
Yeah,
on the
you'll
way
see it right
home.
on the right. If you turn right, you go down the road a little bit.
So
across
it
the
used to
tracks.
be an old.
Orphanage.
Oh, so it's
It was
not
an
that
orphanage.
way.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking
It's
it was
not
a
to
nut
the
house.
west. It's to the east.
Nut house.
Oh,
yeah, it's to the.
I think
what's
it
the
became
west?
that.
Tony said.
I thought it was a.
With the stray jackets
I
and the
thought
padded
originally
walls,
it
right?
was like for an orphanage.
You
Yeah.
you've lived out here.
I
didn't
think it was
that's
an
what-
orphanage.
yeah.
Then it became like a halfway house or something. Like
Yep.
yeah, it's sad.
They put
It's
a
a
lot
nice
of money
building.
in it, though.
Go ahead, Dave.
What you looking at?
I thought I heard
boss?
somebody's phone
Oh.
ringing. Never mind.
No.
No. Okay. No, just
So
kidding.
yeah,
No.
they've done a lot of improvements. I know a good buddy of mine, him and his church group went in there and they painted they did a bunch of painting or whatever, like a mission trip type deal. Went over there for like 3 days, and so I think it's great. The community's helping them out. It's a great
freaking cool,
place, and they do good things. So good for her. And I guess the barn is pretty badass that we're doing it. She had to. It's weird. They won't. No hard alcohol allowed. Wine and beer only. She had to hire someone to come serve her that's legal, that had insurance, but yet they have to buy the beer for them to serve. As in, the Hope Center doesn't provide it, nor does like an Airmark or something like that would do that you would hire. So they had to go out and buy cases of beer. I don't know why they didn't buy kegs, but they bought cases of beer
Right.
and boxes of wine,
Really?
and that's what I guess they're going to serve. And then she had to hire food. So she's doing, I think, City Barbecues catering it or
City
something
barbecue's
like that.
good.
Sounds good.
I know, but when it's August and 85 and muggy, and I'm eating barbecue in pants and a collared shirt, I don't know about you guys, but
Right.
Fat Kid is not doing very well at that point.
That's right. Wow. Well,
All right, get my voice back.
Congratulations again. Right?
Timmy,
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Tim.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
Do we have the
that's awesome.
congratulations button on there?
Dude. Congratulations.
Nice. I like that.
Timmy D's getting married.
Okay.
To
That is
TBD
awesome.
on the date, right?
TBD. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
If I had to do it again, I would have loved
Just
it.
fly
Just
somewhere.
not say nothing. Just,
Yeah.
just like Tim said, justice of the peace, whatever.
So here's
Get it
my.
done.
We've always been talking about this. I said, look, I will marry you, but here's the deal. For my bachelor party, I want you to pay for it. I want to go on a boar hunt,
Oh.
and I want to
okay.
kill a wild boar, and I
Mhm.
want to bring it home, and then that's what we'll have a pig
Yeah.
roast
Okay.
for the barbecue. She's like, yeah. So after I proposed and all that, even this morning, I'm like, so you're paying for that boar hunt? Like, I'm not playing the games. Like, this is going down because they're like $5,000
Wow.
to do them.
Wow.
And she goes, I don't think so. Have a good day. And I'm like,
Oh.
Where do
damn
you
it.
do that?
Wow.
You do that in Indiana?
You go down to
Oh, okay.
Tennessee,
Oh, yeah, where they have
Carolinas,
the wild
West
boars, yeah.
Virginia, probably.
Probably.
But yeah, you can go on where you stay for
Arkansas.
3 or 4 days, and you get a guide
Yeah.
and all that, and then you go out and I'm gonna do it. I'm telling you, that's
Damn.
what's going down. I'm bringing that
Nice.
hog
I like
home.
it.
What's that, David?
I like it.
And what
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I like it.
isn't that? I mean, go down, play some golf, get drunk, go on a hunt. I don't need
Maybe-
nothing
maybe
else.
you
I've
can-
been to
maybe you
Vegas
can find one on the golf
1,000
course.
times.
Golf and hunt at the same time.
Maybe we'll do an alligator. Maybe I'll go to Florida
Yeah.
and we'll do an alligator roast.
Have you guys ever eaten
No, I have
alligator?
not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
alligator
You have?
bites.
I have not.
That's,
I've not.
Had to go to West Virginia to do it, but I've had
Wow. I've never.
it. Yeah.
I feel like an alligator going to eat me every time I see one. I'm not a
Oh,
fan of alligators.
yeah,
They
no.
are scary, dude.
Yeah, on the food chain, they're a
Yeah.
little bit above us. I mean, as far unless we have weapons.
They're
But I mean,
dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They're old.
That's what they're
Yes, they
they're the
are.
only dinosaurs
Yeah.
that's left.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
Am I-
a
I
good-
mean,
good way to
that
put it.
may be a turkey vulture. That looks like a friggin' flying dinosaur, man. You ever look at
Yeah.
one head up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a pterodactyl.
Kind of look. Mhm.
Pterodactyl.
Mhm.
Say maybe a rhino
Yeah.
or something, but I mean, an alligator is about as close as a kid that I remember what a
Ancient
dinosaur should look
looking,
like.
Right. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
turtles. I mean,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at them
They'd
turtles.
be 100
Yep.
some years old. It's amazing.
How old's a Great Wall?
Oh, yeah. We did that, didn't we?
Oh man,
It just
It
blows your
does.
mind.
It
Oh.
does.
Blows your mind. And then, so what else do we want to?
What else you want to bash me about?
Oh,
You got
no,
something
that's,
else?
well, you know,
Is it second
I
place
mean,
for the guacamole?
yeah, second place.
Let me put Tim rant for the day. Put Tim's rant for the day.
Tim second place in the guacamole. Did not three-peat.
Uh,
Close though, real close.
Yeah, so I sent the youngest boy. I'm like, look, for me to be the GOAT, I gotta have 3-peat, then I can retire. But the dude that won, okay, hey, good for him. No offense. He had
for a good
refried
cause, too.
beans, refried beans in his guacamole, and paid for his whole company to come out. He was the owner, and paid for them to come out. He just happened to bring one more person than general population. That's all I'm saying.
Well said. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people got votes. Was it 13, 14, right?
There was 14 guacs. Yeah. And so we need to change next year. So
What do we?
we'll talk
What do we?
about it.
What did you?
14.75.
Almost $1,500.
Yeah. At $5
Man,
a
that's
pop.
good.
So, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Great Divide was off the chart. That
It
They
day.
talked
was,
about it
yeah.
on Thursday.
And-
They want to do it again, right?
Yeah. So when I went in there Thursday, you always wonder. My concern is
Yeah.
what they think and how they feel it went, and they immediately like, "Yep, we're in for it next year. We'll shorten the hours, but we'll do it again next year." I'm like, "That's fine."
So am I allowed to come back? I mean,
Yes.
how does that work?
Well, yeah, I
I
want
don't like
everybody.
being second. I might as well just had nothing at that point.
I'd like everybody to come back. It was a good time. For those of you listening that participated and left a bowl there, you need to go by and pick up your bowl.
That's why I always bring those.
It's something disposable.
But Tim, that's pretty darn good, man. To finish second in the 3 years in a row, you're either one or second, right? I mean, that's pretty damn good.
It's
And then David,
no,
you
it's
finished in
disappointing.
third, fourth.
No,
You had some
house,
good-
The house
The house
finished in
finished in
third. I
third,
only had
yeah.
4 votes.
So when I asked them at the,
What number were you?
3.
You were number 3.
you were 12.
I don't know what I was.
Yeah,
Tim was
Tim was 12.
So when I asked the great,
I know number
Yeah.
4 won with the
Yep.
beans because
Yeah.
you
Right.
can't miss it. It looked
Right.
like dirty guacamole.
So,
And
so,
it tasted dirty guacamole.
so their idea yesterday is that next year there be an entry fee, which I'm fine with there being an entry fee. But then like the day before, you go to pick up what your number is, and then they want us to fill out those little cups and whatever. And I go, well, I'm like,
It's a lot of work for them.
Yeah.
I go, it is. But then I go, I'm fine with that. But now you're already solidifying to whoever, our 2X, to be like, all right, we got 50 cups and make sure you put in $5.
Yeah.
So you're already pre-buying the votes. But whatever. I don't give a shit. It's
Right.
raising money for charity.
I'm thinking they're making enough money with the amount of people that showed up randomly
that's what I
at
thought.
Thursday
'Cause
between
that's
noon
what
and
he
5.
said. He goes, and it was on a Thursday where they're really not that busy, right? So, or Friday's not
Friday.
that busy, he said.
Mhm. Yeah, Fridays are
Friday-
the slow days.
But the bar must have brought in
Oh, yeah. It's
10 grand
easy.
Can't complain.
Yeah, a
on
lot of
that,
money.
right?
No.
Yeah.
on a Friday afternoon lunch.
But
that's during construction, and you got boards on your windows because you're expanding yourself, which is awesome, by the way. I'm excited for them to
Yeah.
expand that place. So good for them.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that
They
Ivy's
weren't
gone off
sure
the
they
side of the
finished in
building.
third either. Or they were kind of like, they thought maybe they finished in second, really. That's what
Who
that's
the house
what,
did?
That's what one of the people said there. It was kind of funny.
Chris.
Yeah, it
That's
was
what
kind of
Chris
funny.
said. Mhm.
Made me think of you. So
Who got the last place? Who got the last place? Because I brought a new
I thought it
truck.
was
Jeremy did.
Jeremy.
The Hall of
we gotta
Famer.
give Jeremy
Yeah,
some
Hall of
crap. He
Famer,
finished
Jeremy.
last.
Yep. There
So-
were 4 people that got 0 votes.
Damn.
So 4 entries.
Jeremy
got
couldn't even
0
remember
votes.
which one he made.
There was so
I
many.
didn't know
guacamole.
which one I made. No, not until Tim and I, like every year, Tim and I, we sit down together and we just
Yeah.
whittle it down. We whittle, and the
You
first
take a
one,
bite, you take the next one. If it's better, then you put the other one away. You know you've already got one better than that.
So the first out we did was number 4, not knowing whose was whose. We were like, we just immediately.
And that was the one that won.
And then there was,
Mhm.
then I sampled someone else's, and there was at least a half pound of salt and 3 avocados. It was so bad when it showed up, I knew what it was, and I just threw it in the trash.
Man,
It was bad.
It was.
Somebody's sweet guacamole was back. They had the sugar in it
Yep,
this year.
Yep. Yeah. Other than the one that had too much salt in it, there really wasn't. a
Man.
bad
No,
entry.
no, they were all better than
And it
most
was so
restaurant
much. And
quality.
so I thought I had beers with some of the people that participated yesterday. I said, did the way things go deter you from wanting to come back? They're like, oh no. If anything, we're so looking forward to
Wow.
next year now. And I'm like, okay, good. So
Matty Ice put one in. I don't know what number he
did.
was.
I'm not sure.
I'd like to review the list,
I would.
whatever.
Mhm.
she
We'll have to
had,
ask
but-
Matty
yeah.
Ice
I feel like I should buy her
something. You keep saying that.
something, a gift, a gift card. I mean, she just
Every time you
worked
show
really,
up,
really
that's
hard.
the gift.
I
I
like
slid her some extra money at the end of the day,
Okay.
and I said thanks for all
Damn.
your hard work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I took care of her.
Hondo from
Nice.
Timmy.
I
Thank you.
Damn.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Chris goes, you don't
Yeah,
need
he
to do
did say
that. And I
that.
go, I don't, but I.
she's
feel
making a ton of
obligated
tips
to
that
her.
day.
That's a lot of work,
Yeah.
though. That many
But-
people.
But she wasn't there
I know.
but she was legit not on the clock
Yeah, right.
that day. She was legit just there to
Yeah,
do
that's
the
pretty
walk
cool.
off.
I slid her some money, so you know.
Okay.
I did slide
All
her a
right.
little money. Said thank you
Right.
so much because 14
a lot.
guacamoles. I mean, what they need to get. Maybe I'll go buy one. What they should have done is you need one of those small ice cream scoopers.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm talking
Scoop
about?
'em
The
out
real
like that.
small ones.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
that's a good
you
idea.
just grab it and you click.
Yeah.
You know what
Great
I mean?
idea. Yeah.
And I need them to wash
Kinda like
that
the lunch
between
lady.
everyone because I
Lady,
don't want it to
lunch
mix.
lady. Yeah. Sloppy Joe.
Slop-
No,
sloppy
that's
joes.
This guy, I hate sloppy.
um
I hate sloppy.
yeah,
joes.
no, that's cool, man. Gosh dang.
So, but then now I want to do I think we should turn the ugly sweater into
Ugly
you know, like,
sweater.
yeah.
Chili cook-off.
Ugly
There we
sweater.
go. Chili cook on.
Lindsay, my baby mama / fiance, I guess. She makes a killer chili,
Mm.
but my dad makes one every year for tailgate that he got some recipe, and it literally her friends had come down to my tailgate and was like, "Don't tell her, but this is so much better than hers." Not so much, but it's like the diet. It is. It's got
Wow.
bourbon in it. I mean, you can't go wrong with
Ooh.
that.
So, this is a dumb beans in chili or no beans in chili?
Yeah, you gotta have beans
No,
and chili.
no.
You do meat only.
For what?
Mhm.
For chili?
Chili. Do you
you-
beans in your chili? Or
I
no?
can go either way. Yeah.
Well, we put hot beans in it.
Oh,
Well, that's what Lindsay put is hot beans. My
Okay.
dad does sausage. He does some sausage, some sort of meat. I don't think I don't think
Some
he has
people.
beans in it.
Speaking of, it was good to see your dad at the walk off. It was
Yeah.
nice to say hi and
He
catch
stepped
up
out
with
for
him.
lunch, and
Your dad came. That's cool.
Yeah.
Most-
He's the one that set up last year for
Yep.
Butler
Oh,
Blue,
wow.
Mhm.
the dog
the
to come
dogs
down.
for Riley.
That's cool.
Yeah, it brought the dog down. I thought about calling him again this year, but last year he showed up so early, and I don't know if it
Yeah.
was worth his time, But I know they're always looking for commitments to do that
Mhm.
type of stuff because they want to raise good money too.
We were supposed to have we were kind of talking with some people about having a band, not like a band, but like just some people to come out and play some music. But
Well,
we did
Bella's
that, never
Bartok is our
materialized.
intro music. Let's get them out here.
That's
Boom,
right.
boom, boom.
What
We
else
do
they got
need
going
to,
on?
We do, and we don't have to do it this Saturday. Maybe next Saturday, have some shirts ready for
Yeah.
them, and maybe we can get them to put
Yeah.
on some shirts and take a picture of the band with just saying.
Oh, yeah, you're going to West, and I may be joining. I'm
Yep.
not out.
I hope
I'm
you do.
60% in, 40 out.
Hall of Famer Big Lefty's going also. John Brown.
So West Virginia trip coming up. You excited about that?
Very. I can't wait. It's gonna be nice to just get away, and yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this.
And
This
Bella's
has been-
Bartok's who's going to go see.
Yep, in Thomas, West Virginia.
Thomas, I always call it Davis.
Right.
West,
Well,
Davis is right there.
So yeah,
But Thomas, West Virginia, and they're our intro music now. They've allowed us to do that. Thank you to them. And they've got some. I love their little. After COVID, they got their heads back.
Yep.
These big old bobbleheads that you put on when you're dancing to their music. It's
Yep.
awesome.
yep, yeah. It'll be a good time.
Those things are.
There's a lot of
hilarious.
people coming. Caitlin and Steven will be there. Matt from Baltimore, Matt from Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Big Lefty's coming. Hopefully Timmy D shows up too and rides along. That'll be a
I'd
good
like
time.
to. I'd like to get a few things done this
got a
week.
bigger house rented. Got a really good deal on a rental car, so it'll be a good trip. It'd be nice to get away.
Nice.
There's this Mexican restaurant we stop at on the way out. Kind of,
It's killer.
It is very good.
I have to bring them some of my guacamole though, so they can really try it. Second place though. I'm just second place.
They'll be. Well, they'll
Womp womp womp. Where's that button? Where's the sad
Yeah.
womp 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 from my
Right.
guacamole
There we go.
loss? I'm embarrassed to be on here.
Second,
No.
Tony got a new board, so he's learned. There
There
we
it
go.
Every time someone says guacamole, I want you to just play that. Anytime it comes up, just that's the button for guacamole.
Timmy
There we
D,
go.
second place.
So did Jeremy and Bill have a good time? I didn't.
Yeah.
really-
Oh yeah. So Bill, who's a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer, right,
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show, him and Jeremy
mechanic.
showed up. They both put entries in.
Yep.
Um,
Hall of Fame table there for a
Matty
while.
Matty Ice showed up. He put an entry in.
Yep.
It's just a lot of guacamole,
It is a
man.
lot.
I mean, that's a
That
lot.
was a lot. It's
It
good
was.
stuff, though.
It was fun.
Good
too.
news, there wasn't a shortage of avocados. It used to be the
Yeah.
number one thing.
That's right. Yep.
So you guys know, I made a batch on Thursday night, and I didn't trash it, but that was not the batch I entered. It was not right. So I made another one first thing Friday morning. Then it wasn't the right one. I had to go to the store to get a couple more ingredients to add to it, and that's what I entered. So it was
Oh,
last
wow.
second to
Were you-
enter it. If mine would have said overnight, I would have.
But, yeah. Yep. I woke up at 9:30 Friday morning and I worked and then went home and took a nap and then made it right at 9:30. Got my Uber and put it
Bam.
on down.
Hey,
Speaking of which, where's that Uber driver supposed
Never
to join us?
did.
I want some Uber stories.
Jeff, it's going to be late
Never did.
next month. So,
so we'll get him
we'll
in.
we'll get.
You guys ready for some thoughts?
Well, that's what we've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to have some random thoughts. Get that random thought voice out.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Hang on.
Oh,
I can't.
I mean,
Hang on. We're going to get into
Don't-
David's random thoughts. David B coming at you with big time random thoughts.
I'm gonna throw that new
He don't like it. He don't like it. Davey don't like it. Here we go. All right. That's fun.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing.
David, random thoughts.
If I'm ever mad, I'm calling you. I just want you to play that. Just start talking in that voice.
It's kind of hilarious.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious. So I was listening to one of the, just a random, I don't know, this isn't a very good random thought, but driving over this morning, they were talking about that the IRS has to propose something to Congress to make the tax filings different or easier in the next 6 months. You know, and basically they already know. You know, the government, the IRS already knows what you're going to get back or what you owe before you know it. And but the hurdle in all of this is that the tax preparing companies are all against it because it's going to, it'll put them out of business. Why should they be more important than simplifying?
Yeah,
the process
you're
or
right.
whatever?
It's
and I know this is a dumb lame
No,
topic.
I mean,
but this is what I heard coming over.
make it easier, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
Why don't they teach you how to do your own taxes?
High school,
in
they should.
high school. I've
Right.
never understood this.
Yeah.
A life lessons course. We talk about it often.
All the time.
Taxes is something you
Yeah.
always have to follow for the
Right.
rest of your life.
Right. Yep.
And no one does it. You use a
Right.
TurboTax, actually free Tax USA is what I've been using the last few years. It's
Sure.
free.
Yep.
Or last year I took it to an actual tax person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we had the baby, and I was claiming the baby, and with everything else, because with the single filing this or that, I got more money. I got an extra $1,000 out of her, so the
nice.
$200 it cost me was well worth it.
Yes.
But I guess what I'm saying is, if you ever just print out those forms, you have no clue what the hell to put in those boxes.
Right.
Why go spend $40 on TurboTax when they should be teaching this crap in
I
school?
mean, it's basic,
sir.
easy. It's
Yep.
easy stuff, right? You read this line do this line do that. Yeah, they don't teach it. And they don't. My big complaint is they don't teach credit responsibility either in high school,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
they should.
To your point of how much that matters when you're
Oh, yeah,
buying a
right.
car, when
Yeah.
you're buying a house,
Interest
when you're
rates, all that, yeah.
applying for any credit, whatever your credit score is
Yeah.
overly important to any purchase.
Or just documents that you need to go do said item.
Right.
Open a bank account. I mean, just life lessons class.
And then coming over, I did have two drivers right in front of me that were turning right on red and decided not to turn right on red when there was no
really?
signs that said they couldn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
You're holding
we
up
can
traffic.
go.
Yeah.
It needs to be refresher courses on
Yeah.
people and driving.
I've had that too.
Just saying.
Or the people that don't know they can make a right on a one-way, right? And then they sit there
Oh, yeah.
and you're, it's like, come on, people.
And roundabouts,
Yeah.
a whole other conversation.
Oh yeah.
Carmel, Indiana, it's got to be the roundabout capital of the world, man.
It's pretty
Jeez.
close, yeah.
It's good, though.
Hey, New Palestine, Indiana got their
that's-
first
you know what?
roundabout.
That's probably a smart one there because
They need a couple more, I think. Yep.
And they
Yeah.
It slows traffic down. It
Yeah.
eases up the stop sign
Yeah.
on country roads.
first weekend of high school football was last
Boom,
weekend.
high
High
school
school
football.
Pal won.
That was going to be a
Yeah.
random thought I had. Friday
Who did
Night
New Pal
Lights
play?
last
Mhm.
night.
Westfield?
Westfield, who won the championship
they
last
did?
year, runner up the last 2 years. They beat them. I guess it was a tight game. Talked to the freshman who got the dress first time underneath the
Nice.
lights. And I'm like, so how was it? Like, was it awesome to run out there on the
Yeah.
field? You've been building up your whole
Right.
career to get to this point. And if you guys don't know, New Pal has one of the most gorgeous stadiums when it comes to an AstroTurf field.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty bad to the bone. And I guess it was neck and neck. And then they ended up winning 42 to 28. And I guess he told me this morning when I drove him to his to drop him off for his freshman game that just started that I got to get the baby and get to there. But I guess they did a fake punt last night. So their quarterback is also their starting quarterback is also the punter, and they were in a position to actually really punt. And then one of the gunners is their wide receiver as well. He just flat out beat him on a flat out route, and he ended up throwing the ball, and they scored by diving into the end zone to hit the
Oh, wow.
pylon type deal. So kind of maybe a
Awesome.
game changer, but it was back and forth from my understanding. Which thing is, New Pal should be a 4A school on a 6A system. They've been playing in 5A, and Westfield, I believe, is every bit of a
Absolutely,
5A.
yeah.
They may be a 6A because
New
of the
Pal might
championship.
qualify
So,
for 3A. In some sports, they do. Yeah.
yeah, and they could, but they're so good
Yeah.
at football. So
Right,
you know how
yeah.
it works. You move up. The more you win, the higher
Right.
class you must play. So they play the big
Yeah.
boys.
So you're not going to the Colts game this evening?
I'm not going to go see the Colts versus the Lions.
Right.
And I'm probably going to end up giving away my Tampa tickets next weekend so I can go to West Virginia
Yay.
with David B. and the Hall of Famer Big Lefty.
Yay.
So let me ask you, Tim, excuse me, do you think you and David grew up in this state, right? Do you think, where I was not born, but raised, if you're 6A, you're 6A. You're 8A. You don't move up. You don't move down. It's, you know what I mean?
It is what, yeah. So we did not have classes. They introduced classes probably in late 90s. It had been real late 90s. I would say 95-ish. They started introducing the class system. And it only used to be 5A. And then they went up, and I think basketball is still only 5A, but football goes up to 6A. And so I like that you get little mom and pop school that's K through 12 where they can compete against this. They're just basing it on the population. Think about Congress and Senate and the House Representatives, right? It's based off the population / the amount of students in your school. That's what they get. If you have more people to pull from, then your chances of having better talent are there. But I also don't like that the 1A can't compete against the 6A for basketball. You know, football's a little bit different. It's a bigger sport, bigger bodies. Basketball, it's all about putting it through the hoop. It's pretty easy. But you also don't, and I always say, well, take the 1A through 6A championship and then let them compete in a bracket, whatever. But if you just won your state championship, do you want to end on a loss? Do you want to be a 1A versus a 6A?
That's huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Right.
If as a competitor, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give her a shot.
So Tony, Illinois had they had a class system the whole time.
Oh yeah,
when you were growing
up. It started, I think, in the 70s, and then I think maybe because they used to just vote for the writers would vote for the best school.
Yeah,
and then they went to the playoff system. Yeah, it goes up to 8A. 8A. That's what my school was.
Ocho?
Was an 8A, and then.
And that's primarily just Chicagoland.
Chicagoland and suburban schools probably are mostly 8A, I would think. But see, here's what they do there, which is what I liked, and I think, man, Indiana really needs to think about this because, like Tim D was saying, New Pal's got a great football team, right? But the problem for me lies in, so you're going to play these Catholic schools, right? So in Illinois, Catholic schools go into a Catholic league. They don't compete because they're recruiting kids, okay? They're paying
free
to go
scholarships.
there.
Yep.
So the Catholic, you have the city league, you have the city public league, which is different, and then they played us suburban schools, and then you had the suburban league. And then you had, which would all be this whole entire state could play in that, but you can't be 8A and play a 7A school. That's just not going to happen. And then the other thing that I like that Illinois did, because there's a lot of things they don't do right, is
taxes.
Well, yeah, and property tax.
And spell their name plural without saying it.
Is they made those schools break up and go into their own. You had the Catholic League, you had the City League, you had the City Public, you had the Public League. And so you would never have a 3A bouncing up to a 4A to 5A but the population, though, in Illinois, right, is a lot different. So, I mean, there's a lot, it's 3 times the size of Indiana. So it may not, I think Indiana tries to rationalize it and make it as fair as possible, which it's admirable, but I don't, New Pal won 4 state championships? Is it 3 or 4?
2. 2
here
recently.
Total of like 4. So
Maybe,
out of 7 years, maybe, is that what it was? So I mean, they still did it by moving up. So I guess it defeats what I'm saying. But
the problem is, so you play your division. They're in a division, right? Which is a small schools like a Yorktown, Mount Vernon, just really small. Even Newcastle's bigger than them, but so they have to play the division during the regular season, right? And then Coach Ralph's done it right. I mean, last 2 years they've played Center Grove, they played Warren. Right. These are big players, right? I mean, there's 2 players on the Colts that came from Warren for folks out there listening. So they try to prep their big season around some big players. It sucks. It's early in your season though, and then you get in your division, you start beating the crap out of these guys 75-0. And by accident, the freshmen all play in the fourth quarter
because they have to do that sequencing of time played and stuff too. I think,
So but then you get into the playoffs, and now you're playing against big schools because you're playing against your 5As and your 6As when you're a 4A, and you've been beating the crap out of them. And I think it hurts New
that's
Pal.
when it hurts them. Yeah.
Because now you've been running these boys up, and you're just doing anything you want, and then you go against somebody with some mass, and you're like, crap. Now
See,
it's
the
a
other
grinder.
thing I liked about the school system in Illinois, and they had to do this because of the population and stuff, and thanks for bringing that up, Tim, is if whatever your birthday is, January 1st to December 31st that year, is the age group you're in. That's the class you're in. That's the sport you play with. There is no moving you down, holding you back, or moving you ahead. Right, so unless you're advanced in education, so I do like that, and because you get a lot of different type of age group mixture in Indiana, where they might be freshmen, but some should probably be in 8th grade. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of weird. I mean, I'm not used to that, but then again, I mean, hey, what did Pistol Pete Maravich's dad say after Pete won the championship? He goes, Dad, we're champions. And his dad goes, no, you're not. You haven't played the City League champions. We could never beat them. And then they went and played them and got their butts kicked, right? So then he said he always realized what his dad meant. Like, no, you are not the champion until you play the champion, right?
Right. It'd be like Alabama playing Marion football.
Right, yeah.
Does that make sense? So, in case you guys don't know, Marion football is Dave's passion. It's a small, is it AI?
NAIA.
NAIA.
There you go. NAIA versus an Alabama or
Right,
a Notre Dame or a Purdue.
It's the lowest level of college.
Isn't Butler lower than them?
No, Butler probably would be Division I would admit. Not in football?
No,
I didn't know
not
that.
football. There's something else.
Yeah.
They're in the
Butler
Alaskan League or something.
Butler
stupid,
does play like Taylor,
which is a private university.
Yeah, Taylor, and that's an NAIA also. Indiana Wesleyan, they do play those smaller schools, but they're a bigger.
That's what I'm saying. Though, it'd be like one of those schools
D3
trying to
type of
play.
school.
Now the difference is every school gets to recruit, right? Like your Catholic league that you speak of. But yeah, Friday Night Lights. I think it's a lot of hype around it. Football used to not be a big deal in the state of Indiana. It's all about basketball, but football has high school football's come pretty big. It's come pretty big.
It's big time.
So Tony, how many people in your class?
There
in high
were
school?
about
If you're
about 400 maybe. Yeah, it was a lot, like 465 maybe.
What'd you graduate with? 12?
Yeah.
72.
I wasn't far off.
No, you were not far off.
Yeah.
I think I had 873.
It's probably
in mine.
more than that today. So, but it was 6A, and then the suburbs have grown so much that they're all 8A now. But yeah, like I mean, I remember New Pal having to play some of those Catholic schools. I was like, holy cow, man! Those are some of those. One of them was like it was like small university, right? It's like, yeah, I'm
Cathedral?
like, what the heck, man? These boys are brutal.
So Butler football plays in the Pioneer League,
That's what
and
it
they
was.
compete in the NCAA Division I football championship subdivision.
The hell's that?
And I don't.
You got me
Yeah.
on David's random thoughts. Hit the button. Let's hear it.
Words.
David
Trying to find what they're.
David does not like the random button, the new one. He hates it. He hates it so bad. David, tell us some random thoughts. David?
Yeah. Trying to look at.
Davis, read us off the schedule. Timmy D, read us the schedule. Oh my. David, what's the schedule?
All right.
Right, so they play St. Thomas. So Taylor, South Dakota State. South Dakota State would be a tough game, damn it. You know that. Valparaiso, Marist, Morehead State, San Diego, Drake. I'm never coming back.
Yeah. What about Morehead State?
Tell me
Where's that
about
game at,
Morehead
Dad?
State
Is it,
again.
Dave, is it here or is it at Morehead State?
That's all I got.
David's got. Oh man, that's pretty funny though. Wow.
What? So
All right.
oh man.
All right.
So
I
I
gotta go
did
get
like it.
my
Like
baby
when there was a year where 2 years in a row where Marion played the D2.
I'm in
you
tears
Indy,
over here,
and
folks.
Thumped them, and you Indy conveniently doesn't want to play anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking
Universities.
of, they're breaking
Two separate
news.
universities.
You hear IUPUI splitting up?
What's it going to be?
Yeah, so they're trying to figure out the sports
Wow,
side of
I
it.
did not know
So it's going to be Indiana University, Indianapolis, and Purdue University of Indianapolis. They've decided on a couple different, like the engineering
Well, that'd be
program going to
complicated because you're
Purdue.
going to have to go into two.
I think the law side's going to Indiana, but they're trying to figure out the athletic part of it.
They actually compete.
See, that's what they're trying to figure. I don't know if they're working something out with the NCAA because they're already small enough that
Back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that. That's huge.
IUPUI made it into the March Madness, 15 years ago? Yeah, they're splitting
live
up,
here
so
on the
we'll see what
Ship's
they do
Gonna
with
Happen
those
podcast.
athletics. That's pretty local
David,
good
you got
news
anything
right
else,
there,
brother?
in case you haven't heard it.
I got nothing else. It's
You
good
too,
to see
man.
both of you
Thanks,
this
David,
morning.
for.
Good to.
Yeah.
So for whatever it matters, our guest just.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for trying.
Thanks
to
for
get
everyone listening to
together,
Ship's Gonna Happen show.
And I told her
Appreciate you.
I
Yeah.
said, "Get you
She had a late load or
next time."
something, right? She was trying to drop off or hook up with. Or
Yeah,
something.
she just emailed, said she fell and or hurt her
Oh.
neck.
Oh, crap. Yeah. We'll have
Yes,
to catch
very
under
much
her.
so. Very
All right.
much so.
This is Dave. Call us out, man.
That's not good.
Oh yeah, and then thanks
We wish her the
again
best
for
from the Ship's Gonna
listening
Happen
to
show.
the
For
Ship's
sure.
Gonna Happen podcast.